But if she been dating for like 16 years and she was in a relationship every 9 months and then took 9 months to get over that shit and then tried to restart.
Right.
And then she waited 9 months, like, all right, let me get to know this nigga, and it don't work out. You still saying she a hoe after that?
They going. It is what it is. Just because a woman is of a certain status, that her attraction to one of those dudes is still not gonna be crazy.
Do you know how many women are around rich who's not out here and giving up neck like that?
Megan Thee Stallion, 6 feet tall or 5'10", whatever. Another rapper, very provocative lyrics. I mean, come on. She's been in the news recently for getting pew-pewed by her boyfriend, Canadian rapper Tory Lanez. Now, you got to ask yourself, Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B have the raunchiest but the hottest song out. But look at their personal lives. Women who are on top of their professions, but their personal life is trash. Why can't modern women have it all? Like I said, you have sexual freedom, career advancement, living free. With freedoms comes choices. And with those choices come consequences. Modern women have choices to make. And here's something that I will say. The more you get as a woman, the lower value men, most of you women, can get. Let me say that again. The more you get as a woman, the lower value you tend to achieve from a man. Because you rarely hear about a woman who has ascended to the heights of her profession, her career, and she has a man on her level. Broken people break people and then blame them for the pieces. So imagine a puzzle. And if you're the kind of person that breaks people into pieces and then blame them for being the parts, come on, man. And a lot of this stuff tends to come driven through ego, through education, and a lot of these women never really seem to understand how men think. Men are a force to be struggled against while desired.
So I think that like it's really hard to be able to like prove that, you know, you're not this person anymore. And I'm not saying that she is or isn't, but she seemed like she was really genuinely, you know, liking him, had wanted to take it to the next level with him. She, you know, she was serious about the relationship, and it showed in the things that she was doing as far as family, cooking, and, you know, all that stuff. But we're just assuming that, you know, it was because of, we're just assuming that she wasn't like a good girlfriend or whatever the case is. I just think that like maybe there's other issues that they had, or maybe it was high maintenance, or, you know, they could have had a decent relationship just because of her past. You don't think that somebody, if they were a hoe in the past or they fucked a lot of guys, that they could ever move past that?
Hell yeah, I think so. I think they could have. I think she could have been a great woman in that relationship. She could have cooked. She could have cleaned. She could have listened to everything that he said. She could have been there and available to him, and it just still don't matter, right? I think a lot of niggas' wives is hoes, and I think they being wives, and I think they doing white shit. However, it's okay to just say we don't like hoes. You can turn them into a housewife. It'll work, right? I know a lot of hoes don't cheat. I know a lot of us think they do, but a lot of hoes just be hoes when they free, and when they get into a relationship, they single. I mean, when they get into a relationship,
nigga, that's the problem. Like a hoe cheating is just the second bad thing. The hoe is a hoe. That's number one. That's the first bad thing. Like a hoe that cheats, she's just audacious at that point. Like, you're being greedy now. You got to do, and you used to be a hoe, and you're gonna cheat. Like, that's different. That's crazy. But
all right, so we agree. We're cool.
Why you
but
can't?
Think about like, okay, it is a flex in a sense.
Because that, again, you used to be a hoe and now you represent him. There is nothing about that that's gonna make her a good wife. No nigga unless one of y'all gonna tell me I'm lying. Do y'all want your wife to have been a hoe?
Hold on, but
hey,
you
Willie,
know the context of what I mean.
Hold on, I want to ask Willie this question real quick because he said the word hoe. Like, what makes a woman a hoe?
Being with a bunch of niggas.
Oh, okay. What do you consider a bunch of niggas? Like, give me a number.
Well, technically, you can't. Your pair bonding is impacted after 4. So I'll be gracious and say
your what?
Your pair bonding is impacted after your 4th dick. So I'll be gracious and say past 8, you're entering hoe territory.
Okay, so is it safe to say that most women that we know today around our age
A billion
have
percent. 1.4
Okay.
niggas, 1.4 dicks a year. So yeah, you're right.
So are you insinuating that most
Majority of women are hoes. Yes, I've said that on. I'll down that hill. That's not anything. It's not the first time I've said it. I'll say it again. The majority of women out here, especially the ones in this conversation that are taken up for, bothered by us talking to her, are whores, and they get mad when like whores are more hive-minded than Beyonce fans are, because if you talk about one hoe, you're talking about all of them. So now if we're pointing out this girl being with 12, 13 known super niggas, and these chicks have been with 25, 30 unknown niggas, they feel bad because now they're like, well, damn, Big Boss knows she sucked 40 dicks the past 2025. And we talking about Megan a hoe for she fucking with 12 niggas, then she feel bad. It's not a big deal. This shit ain't hard.
For me, JR, I don't think it's the number. I think it's more so the standards. I think a woman without standards for her sexual, being sexual is a hoe. Like, so for example, you can have 7 bodies, but I just think a hoe is somebody who do what she want when she want it. So if I take you, if I come and I get your number and you like, oh, I can fuck you tonight if I want to, then I think you a hoe. I think it's all like mindset. I think it's all like you just not having standards and boundaries when it comes to that. You just, oh, I wanted to fuck you today, I fucked you today. You can have less bodies than somebody who has standards and is like, yo, I'm not fucking you unless you invest in me, right? The other one who doesn't have the boundaries is the hoe to me.
I don't know, cuz all right. So look, let's be realistic about this. If a woman is 44, right?
Mm-hmm.
How old is Megan?
Probably like 30, almost, maybe around that, a little bit younger, maybe. I don't know.
Give her 30. Give her 30.
So if she been dating, I now take her off the table, right? I'm just using her age because I'm not even going anywhere. But if she been dating for like 16 years and she was in a relationship every 9 months and then took 9 months to get over that shit and then tried to restart,
right?
And then she waited 9 months, like, all right, let me get to know this nigga, and it don't work out. You still saying she a hoe after that?
Yeah. So yes, because again, women, you don't have to fuck every nigga you date. And that's something that we've told women on this very platform, that just because you dating somebody doesn't mean you're supposed to fuck them. And the hoes on the platform have said, how you know they was fucking just because they was dating? So using the same logic the hoes gave us, if she's not doing that, she's not fucking everybody that she's dating, then she probably wouldn't have the mouth she does. However, it's a meme out. You can see it. And then the guy who put that meme out has like the links to articles of them being together, all of that other shit. So of course, she sounds like a hoe.
I don't think we can really use her as a barometer per se. Sure, she displays those type of I guess that persona of the hoedom, right? So that's the thing. But we know that that's a character, and what we should understand is that certain, like almost any woman that you put in front of those like what will he say, super niggas, they going. It is what it is. And we can't that just because a woman is of a certain status, that her attraction to one of those dudes is still not going to be crazy. Because if you look at Derek Jeter's roster, you can see what the hell he got under his belt. And he had like straight up, like his list is crazy. Just go look his list up. And these are all women that dudes would die for, but they still going when it came to Derek Jeter. So I think that we'd have to take a look at how she would act around average people, because when you put them in front of those, quote unquote super niggas, it's a serious issue when you try to weigh that.
Trip, yeah. And to stress that point, if you think about it, the men that they talk that niggas is not like, oh, I met you, you did everything I wanted, and you was beautiful, I fall in love, and we're gonna keep it going. That's not how that shit really be working. With like in that in that community of just like some of the most beautiful women you could find around like sports, entertainment, XYZ. Those women do actually be trying to like do their number. They like cooking for the day. They're willing to try to do anything, but niggas don't be ready to settle down. And the real like L that they taking is just being attracted to niggas that's not ready to settle down. That don't necessarily mean that they hoes are bad women. It just mean they ran into it. Hold on a second, baby. Thank you. That's beautiful. I'm on the computer. That don't necessarily mean that they that hold on, make sure that they're women. They're promiscuous. Go in the other room. Go in the room with your mom. That don't necessarily mean that they promiscuous like that. It just like the men that they attracted, and the niggas not to be waiting around 9 months. You worth $100 million. You got all the women you want. You gonna wait around like to date in that realm? It's kind of the rules is a little different. And
you agree with my point? You agree with the point I was making, or about it just kind of like they boundaries and they standards for what do you feel about that?
I'm saying we talking about top 0.0000001 genetic niggas, top 0.0000001 financial niggas, top 0.00001 social, and then I it's not realistic to expect a single woman not to mess with these dudes if she's in proximity of them. It's just I don't think it's realistic.
The reason why it's not realistic is because we've made being hoes okay. It's acceptable now. That's the only reason why. They give a fuck who she's around. A woman who's not a hoe is not gonna fuck unless she nigga she doesn't want to fuck unless she's a hoe. Like hoes have boundaries of hoes. So you pointed out, right? You said she been with the top whatever percent niggas. Cool, right? Do you know how many women are around rich niggas who not out here fucking and giving up neck like that? And then also, you saw DJ Academics live. He said niggas have heard saved in their phone is 2 cups of hen, and it's stories going around being all the taking is 2 cups of hen. And the crazy, and we all know if you
that's right. Look. So again, I take it off of her. Really, I want to be sure we understand. Mm-hmm. I was talking to the earlier point of because I don't think it's realistic to expect a woman over 38, 40 to only have been with one person or 2 people or 3 people and have actually lived a life. That was my initial point. Now, if you want to talk about Megan Thee Stallion getting drunk and doing dinos, yeah, okay, I see what y'all saying. Like, yeah, I ain't got no argument there. Like, that's not my argument. I was addressing that.
Megan Thee Stallion's body count would be lower if she was a regular chick.
It'd be probably higher.
No,
it'd be higher than giraffe pussy.
Yeah, it'd probably be higher. It probably you probably don't know what it is now.
And honestly, she in Houston.
You probably don't know what it is now. But let me ask you this. But this is my initial point, Willie. Though